cheers to episode 124.
Cheers.
Can't cheers. Don't have anything.
High noon, lime, vodka lime.
Ooh. Water.
You have nothing there, Alex?
Correct.
Water for lethal tickle?
Yep.
Today is Tuesday, June 13th, 7:23 p.m. It's tripping me up now that I'm back on the Eastern time zone. I keep wanting to say an hour behind or an hour ahead, but it's 7:24 p.m. 2023 for Alex because he likes to date the year. You were listening to the number one sports show in the entire state of Michigan.
We're back.
We're back. We actually have roots in the UP right now for this show, so we've expanded our crowd in the state of Michigan. Not that they weren't already diehard listeners, but to prove it, we're doing a live show from there. And we are in the summer sports lull. I think it's fair to say.
Such a big lull.
But the problem is I think I do this every year, as I think of this as the lull, but then you fast forward to August when it's really the lull, and then you realize that this was actually not so bad. Like when we get to August and there's nothing on but Major League Baseball, that's the real lull.
Just preview everything.
Yeah, but it's no different than right now.
Well, last night wrapped up the NBA Finals. We have NHL Finals. I've been getting into College World Series baseball a little bit. Those regional games have been fun.
Always fun to watch. The games are extremely long because of all the pitching changes and everything. Because every pitch matters.
But saw the one guy threw 152 pitches. No big deal.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Stanford kid.
Who cares about it?
Evan would never do that to one of his players.
No.
Or maybe he would based on
Not
that.
a 13-year-old.
Goodbye to his major league career.
Somebody that has collegiate level training that is capable of doing that, yes, he can throw 152 pitches without a problem.
Al Avila would draft him for sure. So with the summer sports lull, you might be thinking, what am I listening to this show for? Well, don't worry. We do have a smorgasbord of topics. I would call this more like an around the horn type of show where we're just going to fly through some things. Maybe some ththings that aren't even on the show doc that come up. We're basically just going to hit a lot of different topics of things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. I was telling Alex, you missed the big debriefing of the future of this podcast, correct. But we just throw it out. Maybe this summer show is a every other week type of deal, depending on what kind of sports news is happening. Because I told Evan, I was like, we took last week off, and I still feel like not that much has really happened in Michigan sports. I mean, we're not grasping for straws, but we're kind of recircling things that we've already talked about maybe once or twice. So with that being said, I previewed it, but you'll have Pistons, you'll have Lions minicamp, you'll have Big Ten scheduling. That could be good. This is a huge scheduling type of show that we enjoy for college football. A couple Michigan basketball topics, some Michigan State football topics, Manchester City, U.S. Open. We'll cap it out with that, and then we can touch on the Live Golf PGA stuff at the end of that, because that was probably the biggest news in the entire world of sports since we recorded. But before we dive into everything, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the quest to 1,000. Ben V is leading the charge. Be like Ben V and just send out this YouTube link to everyone you know in a chat. And like he put it, he just like, hey, he basically told the people, do not listen to this show. Just hit subscribe, which honestly, I can accept.
Yep.
That's okay. We just want that subscribe. Just boost that baby up. We usually get a little bit of a bump with hype video season.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe with your guys' grassroots efforts and hype video season on the horizon, we can get to 1,000 one day and start making a couple cents on this each week. And then by then, maybe we'll get sponsors if we have 1,000 subscribers. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. With all that being said, with that long-winded intro from me, I'm dying to hear from Alex about his weekly recap. What are you looking weird, Alex? Like we do this every show.
Yeah, you're dying to hear what?
I
making it seem like I did something cool. Friend.
You did. You went to Charlevaux.
Oh, we haven't had a podcast since then. Oh. Well, yeah, I went to Charlevoix, or Charlevoix, as Grant calls it.
Yes.
Played. First we played. I'm going to have to back up here. Before I went to Charlevoix, we had our golf outing that 3 of us all played at.
Correct.
We
At
haven't talked about
Calderoni.
that. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to talk about that together or right now.
Yeah, do it.
It feels natural to do the 3 of us talk about it right now.
Get after it.
Yeah,
Team Ninja Turtle won.
We were Team Ninja Turtle, obviously, the 3 of us, plus longtime listener, multiple time guest, Cody, with a C.
Mhm.
3 of us won our matches. 1 did not, but it was okay. We still won. Actually, I don't know if Cody won, to be honest. Tied?
He did.
Won?
Oh, he won his match. I lost
He won it.
So we...
But, Evan, it was stacked against you.
Yeah.
Maybe. Although you did say if you can't beat your dad, you should never golf again. Or something.
He did.
to
I
that
got a
extent.
redemption.
He has golfed. Good point.
Love that.
So I was paired with Grant. Needless to say, when we got to the driving range, it was not looking good for Grant. It was dark. In fact, the first 7 shots he hit were chunks to about 4 feet.
Divot City.
No good. No good. Grant, you want to tell the people what worked for you?
Yeah, I sure do. Wide power stance. Think about
Not a
just
little bit
Jeff-
wide.
Think about Jeff Bagwell in the batter's box for the Houston Astros. Just wide batter stance. Bombs.
So Grant's
Not
poor range
straight.
performance led to him getting some strokes on the first tee. And, then he won handily on the front 9, so those strokes were taken away.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking back at it, you could potentially call that sandbagging, even though I wasn't intending to, but the act of struggling and then doing
But you
well.
did not do it on
was-
purpose,
it was
therefore
a
not
technique
sandbagging.
shift. It was a technique shift.
It was LCO, as some call it. Legit caps only. That's what the wording is. The opposite of sandbagging.
Who
I didn't come
says
up with
that?
that terrible term, but my group chat called that, so it's a real thing, I guess, for them.
Evan looks sweet. He might have the best outfit at Calderon that day.
He did look nice. And yeah, we won. I mean, in terms of nitty-gritty details, I can't think of anything that wildly stuck out other than Grant's miraculous hero shot he hit.
Oh, let me tell you guys about the
I'll
utility
let Grant
wedge.
talk about it, yeah.
I just think everyone should have a utility wedge in your bag. And if you ever look down on the U Club, then you're a novice and you don't understand what it can do for you. Because that was the first round of golf I had played all summer. I've played 1 round since then. And it got to the point that any shot 120 yards or in, no matter where it was, as long as it wasn't on the green, the U was the only club I used. I might sell my wedge and my 60 degree. I don't use them. I have no need for them anymore. The U is that good.
Just for those who are curious, a utility wedge is just a 50 to 54 degree wedge, somewhere in there. We don't know
But
the
do
exact
everything
number.
club.
It's just like having a 52 degree in your bag that like everyone has. It's just you don't have a U on it because you're not whatever. Pings seem to
Don't
do
say
that.
it.
Pings seem to have U's. I don't know if any other brand makes U's, but Grant was ripping that club. Wasn't ripping everything else, but that club
Nope.
saved him multiple times.
We started
So-
with driver on the tee box, and I ended the day hitting 7-iron off the tee box. If that tells you how the tee box went.
Grant did not break 100 for those wondering, but he was close.
No, tough course.
Right there.
They were getting ready for the U.S. Open
So we won.
without strokes.
That's that. Without strokes. Barely by a point in the point system that they came up with. So I did that Saturday. And then Sunday I played Belvedere. I think it's in Charlevoix too.
The vodka brand?
Belvedere? Is that a vodka
Yeah,
brand?
Belvedere vodka. Ever heard of her?
Well, Belvedere Golf Club. You ever heard of her?
Yeah, in Charlevoix.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice. We got there. One of the guys in our group made a joke. It's like, so where do I buy the beer? And they're like, oh, we don't sell that. We're like, what? Like, yeah, no, dry county. We're like, what? And it was really just like a dry street. Like this property was just happened to be dry. So a little strange that the course didn't sell alcohol. Whatever. Still played, had a good time.
How was the group's reaction to that?
It was all just bewilderment, I guess. Oh, everyone was very surprised. Not something I've ever seen at a golf course.
No vodka, no vodka too, right? Is that a dumb question or anything?
No alcohol.
In general.
That means nothing. They had a grill. So this is a very nice like golf course, but the actual pro shop was probably the size of the room I'm in currently. And then out there's like a little back, like at my parents' house, the back porch, that size, like a table. And then there's like just a regular grill and a guy just making brats and burgers. It was like free pop, free Coke and Sprite cans. It was super weird. Good brat though. I had a good brat. But the course itself was very nice. Really nice greens, really well taken care of, really nice facility. It's like top 10 in Michigan. So the clubhouse was stunning, to say the least.
Not on my ranking list, though. Whose list?
Multiple lists. You can look it up.
1, Raisin. 2, Rustic Glen.
You've never even played there.
Yes, I have. I went with long listener Cody once and we tore that baby up.
Interesting. Anyways, nice course. I recommend it. You got it. You should play it. If you go on their website, they have like a little video that like talks about the course, and Mike Tirico does the voiceover. He's a member there, I guess. So
overrated.
Interesting. Played there Sunday, then Monday and Tuesday. Played Bay Harbor, 3 different 9s. Expensive golf course, to say the least.
What's that? 150?
It was 281 to play 18, and then now they're in summer rates. It's 419.
Oh, good thing you got in before the summer.
Yeah, so for that price, it's probably a once in your life type of deal. You're not going to go play there all the time. That seems crazy. I mean, Arcadia is not even that much, I don't think. So
really,
it's on the water, so it's nice and it has great views. But the course itself is kind of interesting. It's very target golf. Like you got to hit a 150-yard tee shot before this set of water, and then you got to carry that water to the green. Like you can't just go out there and bomb. So maybe, Grant, with your 7-iron, you'd be great for this course.
I was just thinking that, Alex.
Minus the fact that it's super tight, and if you don't hit your 7-iron straight, you're screwed. And if you don't have a 220-yard shot to carry over water and land into a 10-yard fairway, good luck. You're not going to do well on those holes either.
Tailor-made burner rescue, no problem.
Okay, so you're all set. So it was really nice. Really, really nice facilities compared to Belvedere. I mean, this ginormous clubhouse, like on the water, fancy restaurant, all this pizzazz, I guess. But
can we get real for 1 second? I have a question about these golf trips.
Yeah.
Do you ever just, maybe it's day 3 of the trip, you're on hole 12. You're just like, I'm tired of golf right now. Does that happen?
I mean, yes. You get like tired of actually golfing. You're just actually tired. And you're like, yeah. Like I wouldn't mind if like I just quickly finished out this 18th hole and was done. Like you're not upset when you're done. You're not like dying to go play again. Sometimes you have the itch. You play well on 18. You're like, oh, I want to go play more holes. No, I didn't have that on day 3 at all. And it was day 4 for me because I played with you guys the day before that.
Right.
And then my dad, obviously, and he's old, so he was complaining like by day 2. Oh, God, I'm tired. I can't believe I've played this many holes, 36 in 2 days. But no, I mean, I've played, I think the most I've played is like 5 days in a row. And yeah, I didn't really want to play the 5th day. So, But it's certainly not like how Bryson DeChambeau described it on a podcast, how miserable his life is because he has to play in golf tournaments every week. Like, I would sign up for that in a second. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. But
I did.
I heard about it.
And the full.
he was complaining that he had to like practice and like play in a pro-am 9 holes with celebrities, like how miserable it was. It's like, this dude is a loser. But whatever. And then this week, what did I do? Nothing. Went to Tecumseh this weekend in Makeup Golf League. I went on Saturday. Played golf with Cody and Ben listeners at their country club. It was okay. Golf club. Yep. Sorry, not a country club.
I don't care. I just love people have corrected me on that so many times in my life.
Golf club. And then yesterday we had golf league. And
God, you're just in the thick of it. It's not even July yet, Alex.
I didn't really even want to play golf yesterday, but had to.
Here we go.
Took 20 out of 30 though.
What are you doing that, Evan? Evan, you're saying you'd kill to play that much golf in a row?
Yeah.
I think for me, I've done a lot of driving lately, so that's more. I wasn't like mad I had to play golf, more like, Evan, you're just not being very nice. I'll be honest.
Complaining about
keep huffing and puffing.
Complaining about vacation time and then complaining about how far I have to travel.
I didn't complain about my vacation at all.
How much you have to travel is vacation?
All-time eye roll from Evan.
I'm talking about driving to Tecumseh from Birmingham to play Raisin Valley twice, 2 days in a row. That's what I'm talking about.
Should have stayed in Tecumseh.
That's just bad logistics. That's bad logistics.
I had to go to work on Monday. I couldn't take Monday off.
That's a work from home situation, Alex. This is 2023.
Yeah, we don't do that at my workplace.
Your boss is Elon Musk?
Yes, I work for Tesla and all his other companies.
Podcast and start going, Jim. This is your favorite tunes.
No, I'm used to it. I'm just a little tired. That's all.
All right. Well, sleep.
And it was cold yesterday too. It wasn't like great weather for golf.
No, I can imagine. It's been cold up here for a long time now.
But we won, which is important.
Very nice. Evan?
That's it.
Any news and notes from you?
Baseball. Won a tournament last weekend. Down in Ohio.
I'm getting too numb to it. You got to clap. Evan, you've won so many that I almost just kind of like, yep, he won another.
Thanks. This weekend would actually be like better competition. More competitive. But our games last weekend were competitive. We didn't play that good. Looking out on top though. Let's see, baseball, and then I think golf league. Just the last 2 Mondays were probably the highlights of it. Yeah,
of the summer.
Gonna tell people how well you played.
I've been playing well.
Like to discuss it.
Not
to jinx it, but
last Monday I shot a 40, took 23 and a half out of 30.
Out of 30?
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is unheard of.
Wow.
And
it's like a once a year type of deal.
This week.
I've never heard of that, honestly.
Yesterday. Almost didn't play. Texted Cody with a K early in the morning. Tried to get a sub. Been dealing with some migraine issues. Went out there and played anyways because I was playing my dad. Too late to tell Drew to find a sub. Went out and shot 36 on the back.
Wow.
1 over.
Flu game.
2 birdies. Beat my dad by 1 stroke.
Did you take points?
Took 17 out of 30.
Yes.
Did you look him in the eye and say, you call me daddy now?
No. He played really well.
Okay.
He had one.
Didn't expect that.
Bad couple holes, and I didn't. I had 1 bad shot. I hanged up, had 1 really bad shot, but bogeyed that hole. Other than that, just hit her straight, get up close, 2-putt par, move on. That's basically what was my mantra.
My mantra was hit her straight and 3-putt bogey. That was mine yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stinky,
I
Alex.
missed my eagle putt.
You know
I missed
what?
my eagle putt on 16, Grant. I drove the green and missed it. I was probably, I don't know, 4 inches away, tapping birdie.
Would you hit soft driver?
No, hybrid.
Wow.
I was thinking eagle on
Stepping
the
Swinging
dog
big.
leg left hole.
I
That's always a
eagled that
big,
last time.
I eagled that last time. I piped my hybrid on that
not a
hole
big deal.
underneath a bush, had a punch out so I could get a shot into the green, hit, rode the slope down, missed the hole for an eagle. Missed my birdie putt, though, right off the lip. Tapping par.
Miss Lippy's never nice.
So it was a good time. Good time. Just battling.
Well, minus your illness.
If anybody knows any like at-home remedies or at-home tricks to get rid of migraines, send them my way. Be greatly appreciated because it crippled.
I think
me.
less hats.
It crippled me on Monday.
I think you should wear less
could be a
hats.
thing.
I wasn't wearing a
I get
hat.
headaches with hats.
Sometimes I get a headache from wearing my
I
hat.
don't wear those hats anymore, Alex. I was literally going to bed, felt 100% totally fine, fell asleep, woke up in the
You have a hat on.
Yeah, because I went to practice. Went to bed.
Do you have to wear your hats to practice?
Yeah, you kind of do.
Feels like you do. Yeah.
I
just had to double check. Your hair looks fine to me.
I went to bed, woke up in the middle of the night with a raging headache, migraine. At that point, it was too late. Battle and build, battle and build.
Is it still going today? Or
Yeah, I
is
have
it
a small
finally
headache
gone?
today. It's lingering. It's in the same spot that I had it on Monday morning. Other than that, I think that's it. That's about it.
All right. From me, we touched on the fellas golf match. That was nice. Being in Tecumseh for a little bit. Went back to Muck's. Good place. Haven't been there in quite a while. There was that one interesting guy at Muck's that Evan and I shared a laugh at. I don't know why. He just popped in my head. Now I can see him.
Yeah, I can.
With his tequila shot.
If somebody had to pay me $1 million to draw him, I could draw him right now.
Draw.
I was gonna say interesting clientele at Muck's, but that's not fair to everyone else. It was just that one guy. That was.
You sure it was a guy?
Outdoors. Yeah, that's a good point, Alex. Some outdoorsy thing I did. Went fishing in the UP over the weekend.
We saw your good fit.
Did you rip some lips?
Well, big for
Kershaw
you.
Lake. I did rip a couple lips, as they say. It was really my first time fishing. I went ice fishing. We talked about on the show in the winter, but like really, I guess, non-ice fishing, normal fishing since like Evans Lake cottage days back in Alex's. So I had some learning to do.
That's a long time ago.
I know. Like I really had never cast
10 years ago.
Like I really never cast a normal reel because you had the easy button reel back in the day. Remember that little green
They were
rod?
kids' pools, Grant. We were kids.
Yep. Easy cast. So did that.
You just went ice fishing. I guess you don't cast out there.
You just drop it in the hole, and it was
you don't have to do any casting on the ice.
As you can imagine, as probably most people's, the first couple casts were pretty bad, but got better towards the end. Was doing well. I think I caught probably reeled in 10 to 15 fish and probably kept 4 to 5 of those size wise. A mix of bass and bluegill were the ones that we were keeping that day. It was actually funny. It was free fishing weekend in Michigan, so I didn't even need to pay for a license. So that worked out nice.
That was fun. Existed.
Out there for a long time. Saw all different seasons of Michigan weather. It was like warm for a little bit in the middle of the day, and then got really cold really fast and fog rolling over the water. The big engine, it was a little boat, but the big engine that we had on there died out. So we had a little backup one that was taking us in, and thankfully that worked, or else it would have been probably would have had to call for help looking back. We didn't have any oars or anything in the boat, and we had to get across this lake. So it all worked out. Fun experience, learned a lot. Yesterday, went to Marquette, Michigan, which we've all been there.
Yep.
That's where we jumped off those rocks. This was more of the commercial side because Marquette's the biggest town in the UP. So like Kohl's, I hate Kohl's is not a good first. Lowe's.
Whoa, Cadmus family loves Kohl's.
No, I mean, but like of the stores, like Kohl's is not the best one to say first, but like your Lowe's, your Menards, your Meijer, like the big commercial chains are like all in Marquette. So it was basically just a day of shopping that I tagged along for, but it was cool to see the town. They have a cool downtown, a lot of small shops. There was a lunch spot there that President Obama visited when he was campaigning, I guess, which is kind of crazy to think that he went all there in the UP. And then the other thing I wanted you guys, I'm going to text you guys this and have you watch it.
No.
It's a tweet. You know, I realize that sharing tweets just kind of overwhelms my computer. So I'm going to try to just text you guys. You guys may have seen it. So if you have, you don't have to watch it. But I found this so funny and didn't know where to put it in the show. It's sending through now. It should be. Loading, I mean. I'll tell you when it's sent. But
I see it.
I had to include it. I had to because it's so funny. Did it make it through? Oh, yeah.
Oh, mine's so I've seen this like 5 or 6 times. You're on MLB Central this morning. Like, I don't know what he's watching. Is he watching like the video replay of the ball coming? He's watching the video feed of the ball coming at him. And he just doesn't know it.
Yeah, like just that beginning part. I was watching again, and just he gets clocked. He just goes, "Ow!"
I didn't think it was coming that close.
Oh my god, it's so funny. This old school announcer
he takes that so
clocked. Well. Yep. Ow! Oh, that hurt. Last night when I saw that, I was pissing myself. Just
that is funny.
Up to that.
That is funny.
And that's really all I had from the last couple of weeks. So now I say we move on to some Pistons talk, Evan's favorite topic, the NBA in general. I guess we can start with the Heat Nuggets, 2 good teams. They just wrapped it up.
Lame finals.
I feel like every postseason I try to think of things I see or learn that can apply to the Pistons. Like, what do we need to do to get there? But
I know.
Okay,
I two things last night watching it.
Yes,
have the best player in the league.
Okay, good
point.
point.
My thing. Mine was defense, and you don't need 3-point shooting because both teams were trash at 3-point shooting last night in the first half.
Well, you probably don't.
You need it sparingly.
The team you're playing also sucks.
You don't need it to like they got by. Like Bam got by, Jimmy Butler gets by. Like the Heat got by without like them relying on the 3-point. It's nice to have it. Don't get me wrong. Duncan Robinson made a couple in the first half. But like if they're not on, they can still get by and have you lead in the first half by double digits without them relying on a 3-point shot.
As long as you play some good D.
You play good defense.
You gotta play D, yeah.
I don't know what they were doing about this 2-3 zone, but Jokic in the middle is just carving them up, and they still stayed in it.
Miami zone is the only thing that like worked for them all postseason.
That was like
he's just kind of a cheat code.
Okay, but the 3-2 zone that I saw was not the quality zone.
Was Duncan out there?
It was like they scored like 4 possessions in a row, and they just stayed in it. And I was like, what are they doing? Jokic just caught it in the middle, turned the face, either zipped it out or just took a layup. Or you would pass it to the short corner and then get the ball right back.
I just don't know what they were going to do anyways. Who's going to guard him?
Bam.
You have to think about us in out middle school, high school practices. Picture like Norky trying to get you guys to play zone and how much you just don't want to play zone. Try and get
Magic zone to play school.
But like you're like reluctant. Okay, that's a little bit different. But I mean like a 2-3. Hands up. Like no one wants to do that BS.
Goofy 2-3.
What they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean that's
picture.
It's so easy to break a 2-3 zone. I wouldn't
trying to get NBA players to do that. Like, do you think they're like, yeah, I'm going to remember my assignment in the 2-3 zone? Probably not.
The Heat, yes, they buy in Heat culture.
Didn't buy in enough, Alex.
But they just didn't have enough talent.
A little overmatched.
I mean, if you look at some of the guys on their team, you're like. It made me think, well, holy shit, you don't have to be that good to make the finals.
Okay, that's encouraging.
2 guys and a really good coach.
Well, their bench is way better than the Pistons bench, if that's what you're referring to.
Right now, Evan, you could just sign all of the Heat bench.
maybe one takeaway, at least this year, was that the deepest teams made it far because the Nuggets have
Injuries.
guys after guys off their bench as well.
I didn't know Ish Smith was on the Nuggets.
He's a baller. I don't think he
Pistons
played,
legend. No, he didn't play a single minute, but
we had
Pistons
a lot
legend.
of. Who would have thought Bruce Brown would do that? Like, be that meaningful in the NBA Finals series? Not me.
He's good in Brooklyn.
Miami, Florida. He played for
Yeah.
Miami. Okay, listener Ben had a question about the NBA as a whole. He said, "Who is the best player in the NBA right now?"
Who wants? Anybody want to go first? I have an answer.
I have an answer too. We all have an answer.
Jokic.
Yeah, I'm going to still go Giannis.
I'm going Giannis as well.
Oh, okay.
Just Giannis can. Both are 1 and 2. 1A, 1B.
He was banged up, yeah. So it's
If
tough to
Giannis is
evaluate
fully
this
healthy,
year.
it's hard to be like, holy shit, that dude's
But
not.
him not being able to shoot though is going to catch up to him.
He
at
can
some
shoot
point.
enough.
No, not enough.
Nah,
But he's
shoot
still,
a little.
he's unstoppable.
I'm
He
sure
still
what
is
enough
very
is.
unstoppable.
He's unstoppable though.
Yeah.
Like you cannot guard him at all. Jokic is at least slow.
But you can't guard
You
him.
can't guard him, no.
No, you can't guard either of them. That's why
Jokic
they're
will
the
be
best
able to play
players in the
until he's
league.
50 because it's the same movements. Like, he doesn't
He
need...
doesn't need any athleticism
No.
to be good. It is crazy.
The thing about Jokic is he's almost too pass happy at times where his team's eventually going to let him down in big moments. Like, we'll just double team him. I'll take my chance of Bruce Brown shooting a 3 in the corner than Jokic taking whatever center one-on-one.
I do try to think like when I'm a grandkids, like your kids, like I remember my dad telling me about Larry Bird, and then like on NBA TV they have like Larry Bird's top 40 plays, and you're just like laying on the couch as a kid, like on a Sunday watching it. Like that's what I think Jokic could be for people below. It's like you had to see this guy because he's just so unconventional, and it doesn't really make sense. It's hard to explain to somebody, but it's just so
An average guy
effortless
that's big.
in like triple-double cities, like breaking records of most triple-doubles in a postseason. He just does everything.
He was the,
Yeah.
I think he was
Defense
the first
good
player
enough.
to ever leave the postseason, the entire postseason, and everybody in points, rebounds, and assists.
He's a
That's
rare
nuts.
breed. I'm just choosing Giannis because they're a flash. Everybody knows we love the flash factor.
Ben did answer this question himself. He said, if your answer is anyone but Jokic, you don't know ball. So maybe you guys will have to take
I
that
said
up with
1A,
him.
1B.
I'm
You
going
know.
1A is Giannis.
Well, you'll get a text from Ben probably.
It's basically what I'm saying is it's those two and then everybody else. I don't think anyone else is up there or in that tier. And it's a new tier after that.
The washed up category.
For us, for the Pistons, Monty Williams has settled in as our coach. I know
His son is playing
briefly talk about it, but it was
Brother
breaking
Rice.
news.
His son is playing their brother's Rice. Everyone calm down.
I saw that, Evan, actually. The D zone or Detroit
High
zone.
school basketball
Detroit Hoops
is
posted
up
that.
in
Is that a big news?
Oh my gosh. Up in arms.
Is he good or
He's
something?
6'6", already has a offer from Arizona.
It's really good.
Is he like a freshman?
Class of 2026. So he's going to be a sophomore.
Oh, quick
Sophomore.
math.
So yeah, he's
Rising sophomore.
just finished his freshman
Correct.
year. Oh,
Huge
good for
for
him.
Abraham Brother
Tearing
Rice.
up.
The high school basketball Twitter was freaking
Go
out
check
today.
out a game next year.
Freaking out.
No, you're not, Alex. Like mad that he went there?
Not mad, just
I mean,
Or
just say
just-
it's
I wouldn't
crooked
say
to begin,
mad, just
so.
like jaws on the floor that like, oh my gosh, look at this talent coming in. Well, that's what happens when a family moves to your area and he's not going to go to like a lesser high school. He's going to go one with like higher academics, higher athletics.
You think Monty will move into my neighborhood?
All
You
boys
might.
school.
There's a big house that's being built like a block away. It's like ginormous.
The Monty Castle. I was reading more about him. I know, like, I remember they did a lot of stories about him when the Suns did well. But the thing I like that I think we can all get behind is this 0.5 second offense where you have 0.5 seconds to either shoot it, pass it, or drive it. So the ball never gets stuck.
There's a
What he
name for that.
preaches. The 0.5.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I read from James Edwards was that Dwayne Casey tried to do it too.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but-
he tried
Maybe
anything here. It looked like he didn't try.
That was James doing Dwayne just to like, I got your back, buddy. Like,
Someone has to.
So I'm excited for that because I think with our guards, it's exciting. I also would like to address. We caught a little bit of flack about our Jaden Ivey, Jaylen Brown trade proposal, and I was like doing some digging into Jaylen Brown because, admittedly, I wasn't watching Celtics basketball back in his rookie season. His first 2 years in the league were nothing special. Like if you just took the stats, Ivey's have blown his out of the water. Now I think Jaylen got drafted into a better team. Like Isaiah Thomas just like made the postseason with that stretch of Celtics basketball. So I understand his role wasn't as big, but yes, obviously Jaylen Brown's a better player right now, but you're also giving the 5th pick, and I'm not convinced Jaden Ivey can't be that good, if not better. I just believe in that kid to be a baller, so I'm not. Yes, I wouldn't like poo-poo someone if they were like, I wouldn't do it.
Who's poo-pooing us?
Just a couple people were like, I think maybe they took us too seriously because we were kind of being joking. I mean, Wyatt was saying he can't dribble, which is kind of true. He really cannot. Well,
no, he's actually horrendous at dribbling.
And I think they're like, oh, you're just not realizing how good Jaylen Brown is. Like, yeah, no, we get it. He's really, really good, but I also think Jaden Ivey can be that good in a couple of years.
I'll just bet on the potential of Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, it made me want to dig my heels in more.
Was also bad. Like, he had a terrible year at Cal when he was there for 1 year. So you could argue Jaden Ivey's already higher progressed at that age than he was.
I mean, Jaden Ivey's mom is a WNBA coach, so the kid's just built differently.
Correct.
Couple other things. Is Evan you good?
I'm hanging in there. I'm all right.
That just reminded me, I also got CPR and first aid training.
Saw it. Your girlfriend documents your whole life, yeah.
So I can save. Evan, if you're choking, I can save you.
I am also certified.
I just have a cough, and then when I cough, it hurts my head. So I'm trying not to cough and hold it in, but it's making it worse.
Should definitely never hold in coughs. Well, I'm no doctor, but I work at a
Alex, I need to hold in my cough because it's hurting my brain when I do it. It's triggering my migraine. It's
going to hurt no matter what, so you're just going to have to do it.
Alex is going to become the dude from Ed from The Hangover, where he's a dentist, but he calls himself a doctor.
Calls himself a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but I work at a hospital. And I've seen some things.
I know some things.
Last thing about the Pistons, they made some cool coaching hires based on people that he's out.
Kachuk is out. Yeah,
it's Kachuk. I thought not
the
Kachuk.
T is silent, Alex.
It's Kachuk.
I've heard it both ways.
No, you haven't.
From who?
Yeah, I heard it from the chick on SportsCenter.
Yeah, well, it's no T. There's no T. It's the T is silent.
She said Kachuk, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Never heard it like that.
No, it's Kachuk.
But Kachuk.
It's like Kachow from
Kachow. Lightning McQueen.
Listen, the Pistons hired Steven Silas to be the top assistant, who was the head coach with the Rockets, and they also got this guy named Dan Burke from the 76ers who's supposed to be a defensive specialist, and he looks the part. If you Google Dan Burke 76ers,
sounds Dan like Burke, a 55-year-old dad with 2 daughters that goes on bike rides, not a basketball coach.
Dan Birkenstocks. If you Google him, he looks like he knows how to coach defense. That's all I'm going to say. He looks like the real deal. He looks
Burke?
Yep, like Trey.
He's Trey's dad.
Like Bill.
Trey's white uncle.
Bill Burke.
Bill Burr.
Who's Bill Burke? Evan?
He's a comedian.
That's Bill Burr. Dan Burke from Amazon.com.
No. There's another Dan Burke out there.
Sixers assistant. Yeah, he looks like Mark Comstock. I mean, it looks exactly like
he does. It's also, we're off the rails, but I'm looking at my show notes I make for myself, and instead of Dan Burke, I typed in Dank Burke.
That made you laugh?
Smoking that good Kush Burke. Okay, is that enough NBA? Or Evan, do you have any positive things to say before we move on?
Oh my God.
Dan Burke from Amazon.
No, it's Coach Comstock right there. Oh wow. Nope, I'm good. I'm ready to move on from him.
Is that just dropping photos in the doc?
It is
okay, the Lions.
It is. You know it.
We're not even to full on training camp yet, but the Lions beat Never Sleeps.
Oh my gosh,
they had their mandatory
Ibrahim
minicamp.
So good in training camp. looks so good.
Evan, he's not making the
Yes, he
team, my
is.
guy.
He will make the team.
He did look good.
No, he did. He looked so much slower than Jahmyr Gibbs. It was ridiculous.
Can we,
What about Habib Ibrahim?
if we're on the Lions...
Alex. Yeah, Alex, whatever.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Keep going. Mo Ibrahim, he's your guy. My bad.
He's making the roster. He's making the roster.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
Alex,
think he is.
why don't you? That's I'm curious. I want to get into that, even though it's a fourth string running back. Well, like, why does he need to make the roster?
Because of that?
Are you
Laughing at?
That's a big perk.
from Amazon?
From Amazon. Imagine that guy was in charge of running the Pistons defense.
Necklace. Oh my gosh. Bad things when he's watching Disney
He's
movies.
part of a cult for sure.
This is a forever show, Doc.
All right, so Mo Ibrahim.
Yeah, he's just not making the team. Let's be honest.
I want him to make the team, though. I hope he does.
Sure, he better be good at special teams because that's all he's going to do.
You can tackle.
Do you want Craig Reynolds caught Evan?
Yeah, I don't care about him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for me?
I don't know. Nothing.
Exactly.
Let me think.
He didn't play at Minnesota.
Evan, you didn't go to Minnesota. You're not a Minnesota fan.
I'm a Skyuma. Roll the boat. Go Gophers. Culture.
Cult.
Alex? You had something to say about the Lions.
No, I just really want to jump into the JMO topic to say something about it.
I have a,
You're talking about the
I have a
Carlos
question about it.
Monterez article that got a lot of clicks?
Was that from the article?
I'm just talking about the fact that he placed the bet from a hotel room on the
I was
road,
wondering,
and
is that
it wasn't
true?
in the facility.
Oh.
Is that true?
I've seen that all over.
I did see that one day.
I don't have the Detroit Free Press, Grant. I'll never pay for them. They're a garbage corporation.
They're scumbags.
So
over
I
there.
didn't read that article.
I just got hired by them. I'm just kidding.
I hope you quit then.
You're going to write
I'm
so
kidding.
many good articles for Michigan.
I just, oh my God, I could cook up some serious propaganda.
You could. No one would stop you.
What if the first day you walk in and like Jim Harbaugh shadows you for your first day and like breathes on your neck as you type?
That is what happened.
And then his
Fully
like
convinced.
finger comes on the backspace whenever you type something negative.
Dude,
Like, no.
No, I just saw the headline that, and credit to me, the best thing people need to do is when you see bullshit like that is do not quote tweet it, do not reply to it.
Yeah,
just
don't give the
ignore
guy
that.
his.
I
What
thought
is
about
this
quote
article,
tweeting.
though?
The headline was, and again, sometimes reporters don't write the headline, but this Carlos Monterez, I think for the people, like he missed our generation. Our generation does not care about people like that, but I think he's a very provocative columnist for like our dads. Probably would maybe know the name if they read the Free Press back in the day. But he
Like a
basically
Woody
wrote,
Page. Do you guys remember Woody
Yeah.
Page?
yeah, Woody Page.
Round the
Alex.
horn.
He wrote, the headline was, Jameson Williams needs a mentor before he ends up like Charles Rogers. Like just that was
Dead?
the headline.
That guy
Well,
can
we all
fuck
know
off.
what happened to Charles Rogers. So yes, like it was just eye-catching. What is he talking about? So that article went around and it got a lot of traction. So I guess he did his job in a dirty way. Okay.
And now on that topic, if JMO, it's true that he placed this bet in a away hotel room, then
Mhm.
I would like to backtrack on some of the things I said about how dumb he is. Because if that was the case, it's much different than placing it at the facility. Way different. Way different. And if true, I think his suspension seems like bogus. I don't know if it's
disagree
confirmed.
with you. The shocking thing was that he and some other NFL players said they had no clue about the intricacies of the policy, which I guess would fall back on our own organization for not teaching them. I didn't know that players could gamble in general. So that was news to me. The fact that they can, but like they consider hotel rooms team property is a tough, because you can imagine Saturday night he's watching his boys. Yeah, he's watching his boys in Alabama on Saturday night before a Sunday game. Probably just wants to be like, yeah, I'll put on $10, Bryce Young anytime touchdown scorer, and boom, you're suspended for 6 games. Like it just sucks.
And he probably wasn't even playing either. He was probably just street clothes every game type of deal. So that really stinks.
Unfortunately, I think there's no chance it gets less.
No, I don't think it'll change. I just think that that's kind of garbage. And to the mentor point, I got a CBS headline on my phone that said Calvin Johnson will be mentoring Jameson Williams going forward. So
I saw that too.
He said, I will. I don't know if James I don't know what the relationship is like, but Calvin has been around every day, it seems like. I go on their Twitter page and Calvin's there every day. So he said, I'm willing to mentor and do whatever he needs me to do, which is awesome.
And my last JMO comment is they put a lot of highlights of him on Instagram and Twitter, and he looks good. So maybe he is ready to lock in. And Dan Campbell said he was locked in.
The articles say that him and Goff are still working on their chemistry, which is to be expected because he really missed most of last year.
And they
basically said
develop that during the year.
Boom or bust with JMO. It's either like JMO does an amazing play or he misses a route and Jared gets mad or like just corrects him, or JMO might drop a ball. But the good plays look really good. Like he's either been like the best player in practice some days or he's had like frustrating moments, which I'm totally fine with. I'll sign up for that. We already have a Monrod to be consistent, so let's just have JMO be the basket case on the field.
Tyreek Hill was like that at first. A lot of drops, a lot of bad routes, but then would score a 195-yard touchdown.
Off-field red flags, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I'd sign up for Tyreek Hill any day.
No, I can't.
Please. If he said, hey, I want to play in Detroit right now, you were the GM, you'd sign him.
A lot of money. Evan.
You just said no?
For free, did you say?
You wouldn't sign Tyreek Hill if he wanted to play in Detroit?
Chiefs didn't. They knew what they were doing.
They have Patrick Mahomes.
Well, we have Jared Goff.
Right. That's a great point. It's a great point. Hard to argue that.
Evan, do we think we should take a page out of Carlos Monterrez in the Freeps playbook and start doing some shocking headlines when we post things?
I think so.
You mean opinion pieces?
Clickbait.
Or just like on like for our podcast, like episode titles, like, can't you believe what Evan said?
You mean every single YouTube video title now?
Evan, have you seen anything else that caught your eye from the Lions camp?
No. I haven't seen much. It's literally been JMO. It's been JMO and Jahmyr Gibbs.
And Mo. Yes. JMO and Mo.
Jahmyr Gibbs looks so good.
He looks fast.
You're freaking out about
He looks fast.
He looks pretty awesome. He might be everything we wanted JMO to be, just at running back. Since I declared JMO a bust.
That's your guy. You can't call him a bust.
Evan did.
No, you declared him a bust. I said
he's a bust so far.
He's currently busting, but he could.
He backed it up. He said so far. The news of him in an away hotel room has changed Evan's mind.
No, he still is a bust.
And
he's
Calvin.
supposed to play.
Busting.
He's supposed to play.
He's busting.
In 6 weeks.
Busting.
At the seams.
It would have been sweet if we had
an opportunity.
But
it would have been. Yeah.
Now we have to listen to all the Lions fans after the week one. Well, we did have James Williams.
But we did have Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's why we won the game.
That actually sucks, Evan. That actually does suck. We're going to have to deal with that for 6 weeks. All right. That's going to stink. I might beat that word JMO for 6 weeks.
Might have to.
Just win 4.
Win 3.
I've win 6.
Win 0, and you still make the playoffs. Who cares?
No, let's not do that again. That was the dark first 2 months.
I was actually thinking about that this morning.
I gave up on
that Dolphins game. I didn't even turn on the Dolphins game. I didn't even watch a second of that game. To think that was actually the same.
I was doing something.
To think that was the same season is crazy.
The Patriots was the low.
Patriots was the
lowest point.
I think that was the week before.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't watch the Dolphins game.
Dolphins was exciting.
We blew the game.
We should have watched.
I just thought the season was over, and then we had to go to the Packers game, and that's when everything changed.
I have 2 things for the minicamp. One with my own eyes and one I read that I want to pass along from my guy. One with my eyes is every time I look at their Twitter account, I see Sam Laporta catching touchdowns, and I love to see that. I really do love to see that.
I have seen that quite a bit. But we saw a lot of Hawkinson practice touchdowns too.
Did we?
Yes.
We probably did. I just don't remember. And I'm only focused on the new Flash. And I love seeing Sam Laporta move around. 2, I read an article that it sounds like from people with boots on the ground that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is just changing the alpha dog mentality of our secondary, and they are just buzzing around the football field and like talking trash when they pick things off. Like they are a bunch of menaces.
I believe that.
And I love that.
You need an alpha dog.
If we suck, it's going to be so disappointing. So
you want a good defense, you
because
need
it
an
looks
alpha.
like on paper we're awesome.
You need an alpha, and
do,
he's
Evan.
that. That's why you brought him in for at least a 1-year deal to change the mindset on that defense.
CJ, GJ.
It's just how fast can they gel? How fast is prime time first game? How fast is you able to gel?
Did you see his comments about Kirby?
No, I did not.
He's going to be a superstar already. He's one of the best
already
young
is.
safeties in the league.
Said he already is. And you're drinking out of the Lions Cup. Holy shit, the blue Kool-Aid.
Kirby is he's not shy. I saw a clip of him. They were like joking about Aaron Rodgers, and he's like, yeah, or like he's laughing, like playing into that he chased him out of the division. Like he's cocky for a second-year player.
I saw that he's no longer doing the backflips.
Yep, wrote that into the contract. No injuries.
It's probably a good thing.
It's cool though. I would love for him to be allowed to do it for like a playoff game
and have him snap his leg right before the game starts.
Last Lions thing, non-minicamp. We are the bet online. Who knows where that book is out of? Maybe Australia for Chase Young to land him in a trade. My question to you guys is: would you give up? Would you give up next year's second round pick?
I'll
for
give
Chase
up our
Young?
first round pick for Chase Young.
Wow.
No.
Obviously, if you have aspirations to make the playoffs, you want a long run. It is in the
Evan,
mid-20s.
you can't give me this whole bust thing when he's injury prone.
He's at 1
you can't
year
do
that
that.
he's been injured.
And how many years has JMO been injured?
1 year.
Okay,
Chase
so
Young
how
won
is it
NFL
different?
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So did our defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson.
You were talking about Jameson. You were talking about Jameson.
Why, Alex?
You were talking about Jameson.
I'm just a little worried about Chase Young's health. I don't know if I would want to mortgage that much. That's a high value. I mean, you said a first round pick. That is a high value pick.
You're not getting a Chase Young caliber player at like 25, 26. You're not.
He's 24.
No, I'm not seeing his age, Alex. I'm seeing at 25, 26 in the draft. You have aspirations to win the
I
division.
got you. So you are assuming that we are going to be really good this year.
You should win the division. We should win the division.
He hasn't really played in 2 years, Evan.
He's still better than anything that you can get in the draft at that board. He is a missing link on the defense. We haven't.
If he's playing, yes, I agree with you.
Evan, Jacoby Windman, Chase Young.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. He's not
I'll take Jacoby.
Braden McGregor, Chase Young.
Braden McGregor? I don't know who that is.
Conor McGregor, Chase Young.
Connor.
I'll take Connor.
Mascot in the
I
hospital.
saw that. I'm taking Chase Young.
Just
I'm
watched
giving
that
up
documentary too, Grant.
For Chase Young. I'm doing that.
Good documentary.
I am not doing that. I'll be honest. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing any pick?
No, I would give up something for him. Yes, he's obviously has a lot of talent. I just wouldn't give up first or second.
Evan, I'll meet you in the middle of this. I will do a second round pick for him because Holmes has not been great with his second round picks, and I would just take a shot on Chase Young if I'm going to
2 second round picks.
How much you guys going to pay him?
Chase Young?
Obviously, you don't have to pull him in.
Because Evan, we know money is a big deal for you.
You don't have to pay him in the Bosa category, but Vitai's contract can be up after this year. Decker's on the decline of his contract. Michael Brockers is off the books. You have $26 million in cap still. So if he,
I know we have the room to do it. I'm just, is he the guy?
On average, you could probably give up. I don't know what the running market is, but I'm saying $9 a year for him for 3 years, and probably 2 of those 3 years fully guaranteed.
The hard part about all this is he's played 11 games in the last 2 seasons, and I was reading into his knee injury, and like it was an ACL patellar tear where they had to like take part of his other knee or something and put it onto his new knee. And it was just like, oh, that's a lot going on with a knife.
Dan Snyder's
probably done by Alex
shitty
Gillen.
field.
And it's just
Look at all the ACLs that happen on that field.
Yeah, I just can't give a first or second rounder for that. I don't think I can do that.
Well, Alex Smith's broken leg happened on that field. Adrian Peterson's knee happened on that field. Chase Young.
Jalen Hurts got out of that field.
What
are you looking up, Alex?
I'm just going to give Evan a base. All right, so here we go. Defensive end base salaries, highest paid defensive end.
Might not even be $9 million. We might not even give up $9 million a year. I'm just spitballing ideas.
Oh no, you gotta. Well, depends. You just tell me, is he worth more or less than this player?
Okay.
Montez Sweat.
No.
More or less? Is he worth more or less?
Probably
less. About the same.
Just slightly more, just because he has the award behind his name.
Eric Armstead.
Different positions. He's more of a 3-tech instead of a true defensive end. It's just a weird defense they run out in San Francisco.
Brian Burns. Someone we've talked about.
Brian Burns.
Less than Burns.
Probably
Burns
will
is
earn more just because he's a hot name right now. And he's wearing number 0 next year.
Trey Hendrickson.
That's weird. Henderson's better.
Better.
It's just hard. I haven't seen him play.
Chase Young probably deserves more. Just because Henderson's older.
All right, last one, Max Crosby.
Max Crosby deserves more.
Well, Max is a different category right now.
Picks for Max Crosby right now because you're a guaranteed division winner. You're guaranteed probably hosting a playoff game with Max Crosby. He has a sack in the playoff game as your true defensive end.
Him and Aiden would be the Bash brothers. That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool. So currently, Chase Young makes $5 million a year.
Okay,
he's the 14th highest paid defensive end. Montez Sweat, the first one said, who you guys said should make more or the same, makes 11.5.
Oh, I'd do
Eric
that.
Armstead and Brian Burns, they make 16.
No.
And then Nick Bosa and Leonard Williams make 18.
Burns
and Myles Garrett.
No.
Did Brian Burns just get a contract, or is he on a franchise tag?
He might be on the tag.
Brian Burns just got
16.
10.
He did not just sign it.
$10.5 million. $10.5 million.
10.5 would slot him right below Montez Sweat and right above Trey Hendrickson. And above Max Crosby, who is currently only at 7.5.
Oh my God, what a bargain.
But he hasn't got a contract.
How do I call
he hasn't
the
got
Raiders?
a contract.
How many years does he have left on his contract?
You can't get him.
I'll tell you.
You hang out
I'll
now.
tell you.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
They're in rebuild.
You
Josh
can't.
Jacobs is leaving them.
He has one.
You can't.
Oh, Max Crosby has 3 years left on this deal.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You have my next 2 first-round picks for Max
Value.
Crosby.
Evan, I'm sorry. I hung up the phone. Mark Davis just said no.
3 haircuts.
Although next year, Max Crosby's cap hit is $24 million, so it goes up
From 7 to 24.
They did some gymnastics with that.
They backloaded.
They
did gymnastics
Josh
with
Jacobs
that.
isn't going to be on the roster.
He's going to go 24, 27, 27.
Truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Backloaded.
Damn.
So he is making a lot.
Just not this year.
Not this year.
I just wish I could see if someone could send me a video of Chase Young, like 10 minutes of him working out on a football field or at a practice. I could tell you if we
Wyatt,
I could just see it, but
get
I
on
don't
those
know.
tapes, please. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Yep.
Did you guys know we have a top 21 highest paid defensive end this year on our team, and it's not Aiden Hutchinson?
Charles Harris.
Charles Harris.
That is disgusting.
Evan, I'll tell you this, though. Another article I read, but I didn't include it. He sounded like he's got a chip on his shoulder again because he underperformed last year. I think Charles Harris is going to be back, and he's going to be solid for us. I do.
I hope
Chase
so.
Young to Steelers ramping up. Well, look out, Luke.
I did just see that.
Look out, Luke.
Yeah. That all applies
AP
to you,
defensive
Luke.
player of
Hope
the
you're
year.
listening.
Ohio State 6'5".
You know, I realized while looking at this list with how they do positions now, there's probably a bunch of defensive ends as outside linebackers.
Yes.
Correct, Alex.
TJ Watt, $20 million, outside linebacker.
Yeah, I was going to say
Matt Judon.
And
3-4 is Alex.
11.
3-4
he's good. He is. Oh, he's a part. Okay, let's get into some Big Ten scheduling news. we have our new schedule system for 2024, 2025. Your guys' reactions to that? Did you like what they dropped? Lukewarm about it, or did you not like it?
I would say it's more expected. I mean, everybody was like expecting to everyone's going to play USC and UCLA. Well, that's not true. There's only 2 new teams joining the conference. They can only play a certain amount of games. Obviously, their first 2 years, you're going to get them to play the marquee matchups to draw those interests from the TV market. Ohio State's going out there, Michigan's going out there, Penn State's going to go out there, Nebraska's going to go out there, and then vice versa. You're going to draw those names, so they're on TV. Those matchups are on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news: nobody wants to watch USC beat the crap out of Rutgers at noon on Fox Sports 1. Nobody wants to watch that.
That sounds horrible. That does sound horrible.
Everybody wants to watch Michigan travel to the Rose Bowl to play UCLA at 4 o'clock with Gus and Joel calling the game. Or 3:30.
I don't think anything was surprising.
Or it's 3:30 on CBS, and you have Brad and Gary calling the game. Like, those are the type of games people want.
I was surprising.
I'm surprised, I guess, by one thing.
Me too. Say it on 3.
I don't know how we're going to word it the exact same way.
Evan, count
3,
it down.
2, 1.
Michigan schedule
no protected
too hard.
I said no protected rivals for Penn State is weird to me.
I didn't know that.
They couldn't even find one. They couldn't find one.
Illinois and Purdue being a protected rival is disgusting for the Big Ten, and it hurts its image.
There's a lot of bad teams that have
that rivalry
billion
was
rivals.
Destroying the reputation for the league.
I didn't know it was a rivalry, so that tells you how much.
They play for?
But didn't Penn State still draw Michigan State, and Ohio State both years anyways?
I don't know.
No. We do. Michigan does not play Penn State in 2024.
But Penn State is one of our protected rivals?
No.
Not anymore. Nope.
That list
no,
that
they're not. You only have one.
That's not real. Protected
so
games.
it's just Michigan.
There's only 11 protected games.
Yes.
Iowa has
but those protected rivals change every 2 years.
They can. It's a flexible, but they probably won't.
It's all
like
flexible.
The big ones. Flex protect.
It's like Illinois is not going to have 7 protected rivals every season.
They only have 2.
Doesn't Iowa have 3?
Iowa has 3.
Iowa has 3. Yeah.
Nebraska,
ridiculous.
Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Well, Cade McNamara puts butts in the seats.
I saw your guy, Grant. Don Thomas said Cade McNamara is a Heisman finalist.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say
I almost sent it.
Follow him anymore.
I almost sent it. It came up on our Twitter, and I saw it, and I thought he was like trolling. I read his comments defending his take, and I was like, holy shit, this dude's
They scored
serious.
7 touchdowns last
I mean,
year.
he probably will be, though.
Shut the fuck up.
He probably will be, though. He didn't have JJ on the list. He had Cade on the list, and I almost spit on my drink.
I'll give my Michigan thoughts on the schedule, and then I'll let you guys do Michigan State.
It's exciting.
So Michigan has MSU and OSU as their protected rivals. I like that. That makes sense. I don't need Penn State every year.
Yeah.
I do look
I
forward to
guess
that
no
game
one
because
needs Penn State.
Fair.
They're actually not going to be in the conference.
James Franklin's a piece of shit, so.
Like you mentioned, Alex, with Michigan's tough schedule in 2024, to me, I'll read through it, but to me, what that does is places even more emphasis on needing to get it done this year. Especially if JJ is gone, which I feel in my gut, this is his last year at Michigan where he'll do very well and get drafted. You're going to be restarting with either a transfer or, probably a transfer because Jane Davis is probably not going to be ready to play as a freshman against Texas,
True
OSU,
freshman.
USC, Texas, OSU, USC, UCLA, Wisconsin with Fickle, which is going to be a wagon as I'm predicting, MSU and Illinois. Like that is, I'm putting Illinois because they've been scrappy. I'm going to give them credit for being they're a good team.
I still have no respect for them.
We beat them last year, Grant.
Because
they almost beat.
We don't.
They almost beat Michigan last year.
We spanked them.
We pounded that ass in Champaign.
That was a goofy game. I remember that. There was
literally were playing our defensive tackles at the end because we didn't have any players available.
Right.
Still
right. That's really all I have for that. Uniform matchups with USC will be great.
Just having
UCLA
both those
as well.
schools with their uniforms make for some good combos.
Like as long as I'm not on the cross country flight having to play as a player, it's awesome as a fan. Selfishly, so
it's exciting.
Cool. I'm
I think it's exciting to be out in LA.
Is there going to be any
Michigan State
3
side?
p.m. kickoffs for those games?
I would say probably 4.
They threw Michigan State and Washington in a 5 p.m. slot, remember?
That's on Peacock.
So times are no longer the same.
I think it all depends on like what Fox picks each week. Like, doesn't Fox have priority? Fox, CBS, and NBC?
This year, Fox is number 1. I think Fox is always number 1.
Always number 1.
Next year, CBS is coming in hot.
CBS comes to 2.
I think probably NBC's just coming full
NBC
force
3.
this first year because CBS is joining next year, so they don't know what to do.
Yeah, NBC is number 2 this year.
Yeah. But next year, I think CBS will be number.
This because the CBS games are butt.
I don't want Little Coward on any of my games.
It's Little Eagle.
Yeah, it's Little Eagle and Todd
Little Coward.
Blackledge.
Little Coward.
Little Eagle.
There's also a little Eagle. There's also a Little
Yeah,
Coward.
but he does the Notre Dame games.
All right, good. Let's keep it
Look
that
at
way.
Doug Flutie.
We have Todd Blackledge on NBC,
Yep.
right? And who's he with?
He's with Eagle.
Little
God.
Little
Yeah.
Eagle.
Ugh.
CBS, we have the Elite Crew.
Give me the big
Yeah,
Eagle.
CBS, there's only one crew.
Yeah.
Well, there's that
Yeah,
CBS
Gary
Sports crew, and then there's like the off-brand CBS crew, like
John Rothstein.
John Ross.
No. We're only getting the SEC 330 crew. That's what we get.
Yeah.
Yep. That's going to be weird
not
when they're
this-
on like a bad game.
Oh, yeah. All of the games this year. There's like one decent one this year.
For you guys, I remember you texting that you thought was a favorable draw for 24 for Michigan State.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not really much different than what we have.
Big Ten schedule. There's
currently.
nothing.
We dip Ohio State, not this
25.
next year, but
That's what I wanted to ask about. What's your thoughts about not playing them every year now?
strange, I guess. But like,
Well,
am I like
one time
mad?
that we won it in 2010, 2011, we won the Big Ten because we didn't play Ohio State. We shared it with them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then another year we didn't play them. We ended up playing them in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah, when it was Legends and Leaders.
2013?
2012.
And we won.
13.
So I don't know. That seems like a good year to try to, make the Big Ten championship game. If you can avoid an auto loss, that's what it is for us right now.
Yeah, they're not even close.
I have a feeling based on the strength of the teams in our conference that with the expanded playoff, as long as you get yourself to the title game, it probably guarantees you're one of the 12 teams in the playoff.
Yeah. I think
You have a chance even if you
I would
don't.
argue probably the top 3 teams in the Big Ten
That
are all
13's
making
gonna
the
have,
playoff.
That'll
that
be
third team's
wild.
going to be
They'll have
the
a
next
team,
team.
yeah.
Is the third team in the Big Ten better than the 2 non-Power 5 teams? That's basically what your argument is.
It'll be the third team in the SEC and the third team in the Big Ten. And
Third
then
team in the Big 12 probably, or Big 12 or Pac 12's going to suck, so it doesn't really matter about them anymore.
ACC's dying as well pretty fast.
ACC's trying to leave.
What it
They're
really
trying to
does
leave.
is
You
probably-
see that?
Yeah, I did.
They need one more team to vote to just to disband their conference. Be awesome.
I will say back to the Ohio State thing. I
ESPN
do
would
like
crumble.
playing them every year, and it's weird. It's weird not
It's a
having them
rivalry,
on
but it's
schedule.
not a rivalry. It's
Semi-relief.
It was a rivalry for a minute.
Antonio made it a
Because
rivalry.
every game was back and forth.
Every game was the Big
And
Ten
then
East.
late. The last 3-4 years, I mean, minus the one with Kenneth Walker, I guess that was for something, but then you just absolutely lay a fat egg, so it didn't matter. But it's lost its luster, so I can see why they would leave it out.
That K9 Columbus game is probably the most disappointing Michigan State game I've ever watched.
Yeah.
A non-healthy K9, we would have scored at least 14 points.
But I didn't know. That wasn't really public knowledge going into the
No,
game.
because Mel doesn't talk about injuries. That's
know,
the one thing
no.
where it'd be
Open
nice
up.
if he did. Just so I knew. So I wouldn't have thought we had a chance.
We'll get him on a pregame. Instead of going to the Riv, he'll just... No, not the Riv. What's the bar out there that they
The
go
Riviera.
to
Now
for
they go
that?
to Reno's.
No, they go to Reno's with an R. Yeah, instead of that Reno's, we'll just get him on Shot of Michigan Sports, and we'll just get the dirty details about who's in or out.
Just confront him on that each week.
We'll just do blink once if Jacob Blade is starting. But isn't he in the NFL now?
Jacob Slade? Did you call him
Slade.
Jacob Blade?
I think so.
He was playing for, I thought, one of those other leagues.
So we used to say the law firm of Barrow and Slade. That was my favorite thing to say.
Barrow is back, and he looks like a menace.
It's Barrow and Harmon.
Yeah.
Big dudes in the middle.
I don't know if that. Yeah,
What do you say?
But Harmon is humongous.
Barrow was like 5'10". Barrow was not 6 foot.
No, he's like 5'8". But Harmon, the first time Evan and I saw him in person, we're like, holy shit, who the hell is that dude? He's fucking ginormous.
Speaking of college sports, staying on that, for the college basketball nerds, and mainly for me, just to feel something good about Michigan.
I don't give a shit about this.
Tennessee, thanks, Alex. Tennessee transfer Olivier Nkamhoua committed to Michigan after a kind of a weird recruiting cycle.
Didn't know who he was. Then I saw one picture of his stat line versus Duke, and I was like, "They got a solid player."
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you just saw that.
Yeah, he's good.
His other game logs don't look like that. Like it's very like that was an outlier, I would say,
that day because a lot of people bet on Duke to beat Tennessee.
No one on this.
Very
podcast. True. Not 2/3 of it.
Nope, definitely not.
Oh, I hit my first bet.
Oh
since
my
I've been
gosh.
freed. Heat plus 9
now.
last night. Heat plus 9. I cashed that for wagered $10, won 9. I'm rich.
Wow.
Vegas, look
I'll
out.
spend it all in one place.
$19 in that DraftKings account or FanDuel guy.
Yeah,
No
I
free
had 30
ads.
left over, so I had some free. It's like finding money in your pocket when you open up that app.
Just plays futures for like 2 years from now, just in case.
Had it. Yeah, I might get on the Lions, the
Wow.
Wolverines. I might just get
Alex
all right
might
now.
be back on the Pistons to see Cody's text message.
Well, I never left the
Mhm.
Pistons.
That was juicy. That was good.
Just the team that we're not talking about this week, and I'm very grateful we're not.
In terms of Olivier, I relayed this to Michigan State. It's interesting because Michigan needed this player bad, and I was thinking about their lineup. Their point guard is cemented in Doug, D-U-G Doug. And Nkamhoua will be the 4. Terrace Reed will be your 5. No really clue yet on what the 2-3 looks like. They still have 2 open roster spots, and they're trying to get Austin Reeves from Kentucky, who hasn't officially entered the portal, but I believe he's going to enter the portal.
We recruited him last time he was in the portal.
So they're going to try to get him, but it's kind of the opposite of you guys. We're like, take away the point guard, like the point guard, but Michigan doesn't really know about their 2 and the 3. The 2 and the 3 on Michigan State's team is probably like the most cemented, best part of the team. Like you have Walker and Akins, whereas the 4 and the 5
Oh my god, dude.
are more not question marks, but it's just
No
interesting how the 2
questions.
teams are filled out.
I have a question.
Okay.
Combined starting 5 of the 2 schools. Go.
Well, now here's the thing.
You can put them anywhere you want.
Would Nkamhoua now start over Malik Hall? I think based on the Duke game, I would think about it.
I would argue.
He did just test
You can answer however you
You
want.
can put a good
It's your
argument
team.
over that. You can
Well,
definitely put a good argument
I
over
would
that.
certainly say, based on the Malik Hall injury and everything else, yeah, you could be argued. But I want
So
to
I guess I would go
5.
AJ, Walker, Jaden, and Nkamhoua, and probably would play. Do you do like the thing where
You can
do you
play
do the thing where you
anybody
do you do the thing where you start Terrace Reed and then when Booker outplays him, you just bring in Booker? I wouldn't hate that to start the year.
I'm just thinking Jaren Jackson wise, they started him right away, even though he was a little raw. And it worked out.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking back to like Austin Davis played over Dickinson for like the first month.
It's your choice, Grant. You're the coach.
Okay. Well, for my Michigan's bias, I'd probably start Reed and Nkamhoua, and then the 3 Michigan State backcourt, and then with the thought of Booker overtaking Reed fairly quickly if he shows me what I need to see in practice in games.
I would do the same thing, but I would start Booker just because I know the 3 guards are like good enough to carry freshman mistakes. Like it won't matter. So like you can just let him out there and just do whatever he wants, and then if he fucks up, you bring in Terrace Reed or Sissoko. Don't forget about him. Your guy.
I never do.
Evan.
I guess. Evan?
I don't have any comment on this.
You don't have a starting 5?
Combined 5.
Starting 5 is all Michigan State players.
All state.
So you would
Yeah,
keep Malik Hall in there.
No, I'd probably start one of the freshmen. Hogard, Walker,
Cohen Carr.
Booker.
We go Booker Sissoko.
You're going big.
Oh, forgot. Joey
Booker,
Howard's not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It's tough.
He's in Lithuania.
No. He's working off of G League teams. No, he's gone. He's left.
He's getting drafted top 15. Evan.
Oh! My starting five.
It makes me feel good that you were thinking about him, though. You were going to slide him in that starting lineup.
Athletic guard on the wing. Oh, Aikens is starting.
Yeah, Evan. AJ Walker Aikens are your guards, and I don't know how you'd go anywhere else.
Yeah, you really don't. Then probably starting Booker.
I really forgot about the basketball team.
You forgot how good we are?
Oh, fuck.
That's like all we have to look forward to right now, Evan. I can't believe
that with Michigan football.
I bought my hotel room for Phoenix, Arizona. See you guys there.
I saw the Final Four tickets went on sale the day after I looked it up. We should have got them immediately when they came out.
Still do it.
You guys
wear my Kyler Murray jersey around. Nice.
Gross. You support him?
I do like though this thing we found here that like Michigan's barometer for success this year is like how many players would start on the combined starting five, and the fact that we have an argument for one now is a great first step.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like we really don't even know enough about that kid. I was just trying to be nice to you. Really,
if we get Antonio Reeves, he could push for a starting gig.
No. Where?
He was dropping like 30 points in big games last year.
Where is he starting, Grant?
Well, you know my thoughts about AJ. So AJ would go to the bench.
You're a moron. You're a moron if AJ doesn't start. You watched his last game of last season? You did.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Go back and watch it.
Yeah, he gave up.
He couldn't guard anybody.
The game.
He also kept us in the game as well.
I need to rewatch that game tonight. That was a
shoot
dream.
Go back and watch that game. I did recently. It's an awesome game. Despite the loss, it's so good. It is such a good basketball.
No, it's not. We couldn't play defense.
It is so bad.
We could not play defense.
It was frustrating, but holy shit, was it high level.
All we had to do was beat FAU, and we were in the Final Four.
My dad and I talked about this last week. Yeah, we were marching to the title game. We were.
Yeah.
Sucks. But it's okay, Evan.
Who did FAU play?
We're going to do it this
San Diego State.
San Diego State. We were marching to the title.
No, they would have managed.
Oh, please. What were they going to do against AJ? He was just going to bully them to the rack. Oh, my God. The solution is going to do such big things next year.
Started at 5'6".
Denzel Valentine.
See, trending up.
National Play of the Year campaign loading in East Lansing for Hogard.
When AJ drops a triple-double in the Champions Classic, just like Denzel did his senior year, I will be pushing that propaganda.
Well, he needs to.
Speaking of Michigan State, some not nice fallout from the transfer situation. We covered that. That was a dark period for Evan.
Payton Thorne dropped some comments today.
I saw it already, Alex.
I saw that as well, Alex. What is with this? Could everyone just leave teams? I mean, Cade did this, though, with Iowa, and Eric All's dad did this with Michigan. It just happens. These kids run their mouths.
Yeah, fuck them.
I was more focused on Keon because his was a little bit meaner sounding. Were you guys annoyed by that, or were you just over him in general?
It was weird because he really complimented Courtney Hawkins, our wide receiver coach, and like how he was an NFL player and how he was like really good.
Did you listen to the full thing?
I listened to like a few extra minutes just to make sure I wasn't out of context because you know how people do that.
Right, I did for this. I just looked at the clips.
Yeah, so he did praise our coaching staff a lot, and then him saying like his plan was always to go somewhere else after 2 years. When he came to Michigan State, I was deep in the message boards, and like a gajillion messages were about how he was going to transfer out in a year or two anyways, and that shouldn't even take him. Like that was all like a real thing.
Wow.
And then leading up to this offseason, everyone was like, oh, Keon would never transfer, blah, blah, blah. So everyone flipped back, and then he did. Am I mad? No. Just makes it easier for me to move on.
Well said. That was really well said.
Thanks.
My only two thoughts, Evan, before you have anything to say is I don't know if it was like slip of the tongue with Keon and his vocabulary, but calling it a 2-year sentence is not a great way to phrase your like first 2 years of college. That's probably one people I wish he had back. Like calling, because you think prison sentence, not the best way to phrase that. That just is going to piss people off when they hear it because people have great experiences at Michigan State. point for Evan.
It's absurd to say something like that.
That'll tee you up, Evan, is he did speak on the offense and he did bite his tongue, but he was like, I basically did what I was allowed to do and like saying I just didn't like the offense. So that goes to your Jay Johnson point, Evan. You got to feel good about that one.
Any Michigan State fan should have been seeing it. They don't utilize the game plan well enough. They don't utilize the wide receivers and the passing concepts well enough. It was literally 50-50 balls. It's hard. It's literally 50-50 balls.
To agree with Keon too much because he played one season of actual playing football. He played 1 year.
And he was a leading receiver.
And it was the year after they had just had a Heisman running back who made everything easy. So did this coaching staff get complacent? Probably. Because they didn't realize how good Walker was. But at the same time, he played 1 year.
I don't think Jay Johnson got complacent. I think it was never good to begin with.
It's just Jay Johnson.
We'll find out. We will find out. There's no doubt.
Quickly, selfishly for me, soccer podcast, Evans won a Champions League.
Welcome to the league.
We started the show when that happened. Thank you, Evan. That
My
feels
team
good.
will never win one.
It was right before we started because it was in 2020.
Oh, Alex.
Dude, word.
Okay, I do have to be honest. What? Tottenham's down bad right now?
No, at least we hired someone. Could be worse.
This was the day I was fishing, so I didn't get to see the full game live.
I didn't see a second of it. I don't even know what the score was.
It was 1-0, so I didn't miss a ton.
So it was close.
Oh,
I assume you guys won like 3-0.
What I have learned about Champions League finals, if you go through their history, they're always like nervous butt pucker games, and that everyone's scared to make a mistake, so it usually ends up 1-0.
Just like Chelsea. Didn't they win
Chelsea?
1-0?
Liverpool beat Tottenham 1-0 when they played in it.
The last time and only time I'll ever be there.
I will say this though, and it was on top of it because they're the 10th team in history to win the treble. I'm not going to get into the weeds for non-soccer fans, but it's basically you win like March Madness, your conference, and then another like in-season tournament. Only 10 teams have ever done it in history. I have consumed so much of their like celebration and victory parade content. I can't get enough of it. It's just European soccer celebrations are awesome. The chants are awesome. The fans are crazy, popping off flares in the street. The players, they flew from the game was in Turkey. They flew to Manchester after. The players, before the parade the next day, flew to Ibiza, rented out a floor of a hotel. Kind of like the World Cup, like they just bid to host it. And so they got it. Kind of like that situation. Yeah. And then they're in Ibiza, went to the club all night until 7 a.m., get on a flight at 10 a.m. to fly back, and then like go right to a parade. It's just, they're just living the ultimate drinking hangover bender lifestyle. And it's pretty sweet. So that's been fun to watch.
That is cool.
And then
the
I just
videos you send, I do like watching
how badly we need a Detroit parade to see our athletes just get crazy and do drunk, stupid things in celebration. We're desperately needing
athletes
that.
Acting like one of us. They're one of us. One of us.
One of us. Like when Tom Brady just was drunk at the Bucks parade, was so funny getting dragged out by his friend
through the Lombardi Trophy
across a boat. Like that's just something you'd want to do. Just throw something across a body of water recklessly.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Unfortunately, though, Evan cannot go to the Pistons parade and Alex can't go to the Tigers parade.
Not true. We can end our boycotts. I certainly will end my boycott.
Well, Kevin Olly's not the head coach, so I can actually somewhat cheer for the team. I just don't care that much.
You just assume they're going to be bad.
I just know they're going to be bad.
He knows they're going to be bad.
Matthew to Chuck.
Will you shut up?
Last topic for tonight, the U.S. Open is
this
week.
Dude, I already have my pick so hard. I go going first.
Okay, Evan, relax over there.
Go ahead, continue, Grant.
I have my picks so hard. I would rank this as the second best major.
Agreed.
It's number 3 for me.
Agreed.
Oh my God, here we go.
Behind what? The Open?
The Masters.
The British Open?
One. I love the British. Just love it.
The dude that 2 years ago didn't watch the single. Well, we only watched like 4 seconds of it because we were at Faster Horses.
Nothing I can do.
Oh, it was faster
We watched
horses.
Tom
Oh, actually, we watched it at Grant's while we ate breakfast in his basement.
Yeah. The British Open is tough because of the time. And also, for all you scheduled people,
That reminds me.
Sunday, you know when this tournament wraps up? This tournament's not going to end until Sunday at 10 p.m.
Prime time.
It's like the one...
Crazy.
It's better than... There's nothing worse than waking up Ryder Cup.
Alex will be in bed.
Listen, I love all the majors. Okay.
Nothing worse.
I'm no casual.
Nothing worse than waking up in Ryder Cup and it's over in Europe and you wake up and your team's already down 13-5 and you're like, well, we lost. There's no point in watching this.
Remember the one Ryder Cup we were in college
last year. It was in the apartment with.
Yeah, we woke up and we're like, oh shit, we're
completely hungover. We all fall into your apartment, your room. And you already have it on at like 7 a.m. We're getting just spanked.
Yeah, I just had to dive in. Yeah, it was rough.
I think Brad and I got back from the bar in New York once at 2 a.m., 2:30, and it started at like 3:30. And so we just like kind of took a half-hour nap drunk and then woke up and watched it.
That's awesome.
That was like I was living in the Twilight Zone during that. I don't think we did well. But yeah, the Saudi Arabia, they own golf now. So that was kind of crazy.
Boo.
Alex,
get over it.
Alex is still trying to tell me that's not how it works.
Yes, I agree. Jay Monahan is a scumbag.
We knew this
I never liked him.
We're talking crap about the live.
I never liked him. That was never what my gripe was about. It was about where they're taking the money from.
Who gives a shit? All money's dirty money.
Well, listen.
Loaded question.
They offer it to me, I'm taking it, yes. But they should have higher standards.
You know that investment fund is like has chunks in Disney and Uber and other things we use.
They're taking over the world.
They're about to just buy an NFL team. They're going to own Manchester United.
They own Man City. They own Newcastle.
They do not own Man City. We are a different part of that.
They just
country.
Take worse money from worse people. Excuse me.
I think that's true. No, they bought Newcastle. Did you say that?
Yeah, I know that. I said Newcastle.
That fund does,
and they were good out of nowhere.
Man City.
Well,
murder money.
Money buys better
Alex,
players.
they just bought people.
Blood.
What do you think? What American?
Did you see that?
Americans
they funded 9/11.
No, did you see the guy from the PGA though? The guy that did the deal who came in and he's like, none of the people I negotiated with helped fund 9/11, and if they do, I'll like strangle them myself. It was the wildest quote
from the guy at the PGA.
No, you're obsessed with him for not liking him.
He just always pops up in my shit. He's just such a douche.
Because it's feeding you on your For You.
You just see it on Twitter a lot. Listen.
No, I didn't see it.
I understand.
It's crazy.
But this means the live's dead.
It does not.
We'll talk about it later. Let's just jump into the
back on the record.
Los Angeles Country Club, Evan. Who's your favorite?
What do you know about it? What do you know about it?
It is the first U.S. Open ever to have 5 par 3s on the course, par 70.
One of the par 3s is 200 gajillion
290 yards, correct.
Thick rough, as always.
Not as thick rough.
Ball disappears.
It's going to play fast. It's not going to play thick. It's not going to be thick and tight. It's going to be more spread out.
It's still thick.
But not in most of the areas
I heard thicker around the greens.
Not so much
thicker around the greens, I heard.
Can't see the ball around the green, but fairway or rough. Not too bad.
Other than that, it's kind of just a different feel for the West Coast vibes.
I've heard that this club, now they hosted they hosted like a Walker Cup, which is like the younger version of the Ryder Cup, I think.
10 years ago.
Yep. Don't spoil it, though. This could help with the picks.
But anyways, they're like a super snooty, private, like everything everyone hates about golf type of golf club.
What is in LA?
Country club.
Oh, boo.
Like,
I hope they light up
They didn't even want to let the U.S. Open come. Like, they had to be begged to play there type of deal. Which is kind of ridiculous. But
I hope someone shoots a 25 under then.
Unlikely.
Yeah,
and just embarrasses
I hope they light
this course. Yeah.
But with that being said, Evan, your favorite?
My first pick.
5,000 is the cutoff for her long shot.
Be Nkamhoua.
Bad pick.
He read the article about the Walker Cup.
Yeah, or in college.
Not the reason why. The course completely different 10 years ago. He did beat John Rahm in that tournament. However, he leads the PGA in birdies on par 3s at 47. He's number 1. And there's 5.
Interesting stat.
There's 5 on this
That's
round. So
that's a stat and a half.
1/4 of the holes he has a chance to birdie. That's my favorite pick.
I like it.
I have two, so you can go out.
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite that you like?
Not really. I don't feel good about anyone.
All right. Well, I have 2 people in my head. One is like gut, who I can close my eyes and see winning the tournament, and another one is just a guy that I love, where like this is a good spot for him. I'm torn. I know you guys would probably say just take the guy you love. I'm going to take the guy that I think is going to win, and it's not exciting and it's boring, but I'm going to take Scheffler. I think this is the one he wins this year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I don't hate the pick at all.
I mean, it's so boring. There's no value there. He's like plus 600. It's a joke. 700, but like he has to win a major this year, and we've already missed 2. We've already done 2 of them. This has to be it.
Listen, it's hard to argue against a top 2 player.
That's why it's so boring.
It is boring. So maybe I should go spicy.
Yeah, take the one I was thinking.
Mr. Liv?
No. This guy is a great guy, and I take him all the time.
You take him all the time?
Yeah, he's my guy.
I don't know what you're talking about, Grant. Sorry.
Huh.
Xander Schauffele? Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's plus 3,500.
I know. I think he's an LA kid. I think this is his course. He's played this course before. He's got knowledge here.
I'm gonna go. Now I would take Jordan Spieth, but everyone gets mad, so I can't do that. So I'll take my family's favorite golfer, my like immediate collective mom, dad, sister's favorite golfer. Who just won?
Soft.
Victor Hovland.
Hot golfer right now.
Fun fact, my sister's friend, so this is why, her good friend at college now DM'd Victor, and then they started having conversations. So, like, that's why my sister likes Victor Hovland. And she went to the Players and followed him, and I don't know details, Grant. It's not appropriate for me to spread information on this podcast. He's an easy guy to cheer for.
Sure.
But I'm rooting for Jordan Spieth on the record.
Spieth was a hot pick in all the articles I read.
I don't like his game for this place, but that's okay.
I think out of fairness, we have to snake back. So Alex, me, then Evan for the long shot.
Long shot. I think there's an obvious one.
Me too. So please don't take him.
Well, he's been playing really bad. Really bad.
It's not mine. It's not mine then.
Well, you can go first, Grant. I don't have any desire to go first. Let's see. Go ahead.
Corey Connors.
Corey Connors. Canadian.
Corey Connors. Canadian. Off of the RBC. Really well. Call it Canadian bug. The stat I read was about either his iron play or like around the greens is going to be big for this course because it's not a bomber's course, because the way they designed it, like being long off the tee is not the most important thing here. And what I read was his game suits this, and he's been playing solid. It's a fair price, anywhere from like plus 6,500 to plus 8,000. I think Corey Connors keep the Canadian momentum going after the RBC.
Before Evan, you go, can we give praise to your guy, Ricky Fowler, for now being too good to be a long shot?
Plus 5,000 with the cutoff line.
Come a long way from missing the Masters.
I see him at plus 4,500 updated
plus
today.
Plus 5,000 on DraftKings Live.
Wow. Ooh, because I think you're going to try to take him, and that would be controversial.
Already have my guy.
It's just dudes betting. It's just dudes betting for their girlfriends.
So I'm not taking him in this one.
I'm happy for Ricky, and I'm happy for you.
Ooh, I'm going to bet on some golf this weekend. I cannot wait.
Mike, you want me to pick?
Your guy.
I'm picking Shane Lowry.
I don't know.
Why?
Right. Big boy.
Driving accuracy on the league. Top 20 driving accuracy. Gotta get off the tee box to get it to the green. Get off the tee box. Keep yourself in safe play. 2-putt par. Move on. Live to see another day. And he played well. What was the last championship? PGA. He was kind of off the leaderboards for the first 3 days and then flew up the leaderboard on the last Sunday, which got him in the big money. Not really to win because Kepka ran away from it, but he was up there. His name was up there. So I'm picking Shane Lowry, my long shot.
I like Shane Lowry. He's a good guy.
Seems like a great guy.
Just don't look at his U.S. Open history since 2018. But I do appreciate the pick.
Right.
It's a different course every year. I agree.
I don't know. I don't have the live odds in front of me. I have the odds updated from 11:29 a.m.
Oh,
so this could be
dude. You're always so bad at this.
Pull out your phone. You have a smartphone.
All right, I'll double check. Please hold.
What's your guys' initials?
Hey, you're like a grandpa who just is like.
No, I'll look. I have the app.
Do you? I don't know why Brooks is not favored to win. So
you always play coy because I think you have a gambling addiction.
We're good.
Oh my gosh, Alex!
I'm between two guys.
Adam Scott, good for you.
Let's just pick.
Oh my gosh, you picked.
I'm gonna take. No.
Russell Henley too.
I'm gonna take Jason Day.
Oh,
good guy.
Let me tell you what, he's going to win you so much money in the first 3 rounds, and then the fourth round, he's going to take a poop.
And then he's going to melt in the fourth.
He's just going to – you thought you had like $250 won? No, you're going to walk away with $25. That's it.
Played really well at the Masters, like Evan said, minus his collapse. He's won this year. He's had a resurgence since he had a couple down years with his injuries.
We have something in common.
And now he's back. And he's right at that plus 5,000 mark, so why not?
This will be his first U.S. Open in 2 years.
And I think he's eager to play well.
Scheffler is minus money to finish in the top
I really wanted to take Justin Thomas, but he's been so shit. I just can't take him. Like he's been bad. He's been like really bad.
His
it's so weird that Bryson DeChambeau won a U.S. Open.
Like trap.
So weird.
Just because he hit it 350 to the green every time.
His he put in so much work eating protein and gaining muscle, it had to pay off or something, and that's his prize.
Grant, first round leader.
It's wild. Oh, dude, I have no clue.
Oh,
I do have a pick. I have a Sahith Theegala. California kid. I believe he's played the course before. He just feels like a feel-good lower name story after the full swing doc to be leading round one and then slowly fizzle away from us.
I think Cam Smith will play in the final group on Sunday. That's my bold prediction. It's not
the guy that from Liv, Cam Smith.
Yeah, I think he'll play in the final group Sunday. It's not that bold, but I think he will.
Yeah, he's due to be back in the mix. He's a good
beautiful
golfer.
He's really, really good
in that
one.
All
weekend.
Remember when Roy was trying to win that?
He just made every
Cam Smith was just burying like 12-footer after 12-footer after 12-footer.
He hasn't been in contention on Sunday in the major this year. There's been 2, right? Yeah.
He won a live event recently.
But he has been around on Sunday. Like you see him on the coverage. He's there.
Oh, yeah, he's always around. All right. That is episode 124. Cheers to the Stanley Cup, wrapping up College World Series, go Demon Deacons, and try to get through the sports lull in the summer.
Happy Father's Day. Early Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to our fathers.
Evan's so good at that.